One Piece, One Piece, One Piece.
ワンピースは実在する
Man, I don't know what is even going on anymore. These chapters seem to deliver week after week. And today we got a lot to talk about. We have the Sun God and his connection to Luffy. We have Jinbei versus Who's Who. Also, we found out the true reason why CP0 are here. So much to talk about, man. Let us just dive in. Real quick though, make sure to subscribe to the channel. I cover these chapters damn near every week. But without further ado, let's get into it, man. Chapter 10, 18. Starting with CP0. We finally got the main reason why CP0 are here. And it wasn't because of Kaido or Luffy, but for Who's Who. We learned last chapter that Who's Who was part of CP9. And he was supposed to basically guard the Gomu Gomu no Mi. But unfortunately for him, it was stolen by Shanks. By the way, imagine being bowled up to by Shanks and he steals your shit.
I am having a very bad day. I am in no mood.
Personally, man, I would have just called it for the day. But the fact that CP0 is here to take Who's Who means that he knows way too much and he is a liability for the world government. And of course, we see that in the way he dropped so many bombshells in these last two chapters. It makes sense, right? I mean, how he knew about the Gomu Gomu no Mi actually being the one to guard the Gomu Gomu no Mi, a devil fruit that was basically a secret that no one else knew other than the world government and those close to him. He was basically given the job to guard it. So that just goes to show how much of a rank that he had within the world government. So it makes sense that CP0 are here to take him away. And now in this chapter, he mentions about the Sun God Nigga and this legendary figure who is supposed to come. And obviously, it can only mean that this is yet again another prophecy regarding Luffy. Now, of course, this is all speculations, but Oda has gone out of his way time and time again in the story to let us know just how special Luffy is. I saw this tweet, right, on Twitter, and it said basically, Luffy is everything but the Buyer King. And man, it had me cracking up. But trust me, we will talk more of this later in the video. That being said, let's next move on to Nami, Usopp, and Otama-chan. And Nami and Usopp basically say things we've been saying for a while now, and that being just how crucial and important Otama has been in this entire battle. And it's so true, man. Now the numbers are 9,000 versus 16,000 and about 300 are Smile Eaters. Things are looking very, very good. The raid is going well at the moment, at least for the moment. Man, why do I have a feeling? I don't know why, but I have a feeling that things are about to take a crazy twist in this next chapter. Kaido can no lie solo the entire alliance. Also keep in mind King, Queen, Jack, Big Mom, and Perospero. Other than Queen that we saw in the last chapter, we haven't really seen any of this for a while. I mean, Perospero is kind of out of the battle for now at least, but man, back to the chapter. Let's talk about Jinbei. Jinbei is really slept on, man. His experience and the way he carries himself with such honor and loyalty to Luffy and the Straw Hats is beautiful. He proves time and time again that he can be trusted, and this time he showed up in a big time. But back to Jinbei versus Who's Who. Jinbei showed great experience in this fight, and he kept reminding Who's Who time and time again, yo, I don't really care about what you're saying, man. I just want to fight and just get this out of the way. Jinbei knows how much important he is to the raid. He knows that he needs to get rid of Who's Who real quick to go help out other places. The fight between the two, although impactful, did not last for that long. I definitely thought Who's Who was gonna give Jinbei more trouble. But when you really think about it, with Who's Who back in the day being the rival of Rob Lucci, and although very powerful, Rob Lucci was defeated by big time skipper Luffy. And another thing is, out of the two, Rob Lucci was stronger. Keep that in mind. So it kind of makes sense, right? Why Jinbei dealt with them fairly quickly, dare I say. But of course, Jinbei took some damage in this fight. Also, most likely, Who's Who is out, at least for the moment. And man, Who's Who dropped so much bombs, and the only problem was his opponent was an experienced general like Jinbei, right? Who gave legit zero fucks. Like, he kept telling him, yo, I don't really care about your sub story. But man, it was like if this is last we see of Who's Who. I can see why CP0 went out of their way to come to an isolated country like Wano and take him, because he clearly cannot be left to his own devices. And last but not least, let's talk about the Sun God Nika, and whether it is Luffy or Joy Boy. Personally, or at least I hope that this is Joy Boy, right? Because when Who's Who was explaining, he mentioned that this legendary figure would bring joy to people, and he shares basically the same kind of characteristics as Joy Boy. During Fishman, we learned that Joy Boy won an apology to Fishman. It was carved on a barnacle, and it was later confirmed by Robin. Who's Who says that slaves believed this god would come and free them. Obviously, this is just theories, right? But this could be related to the apology. Maybe Joy Boy was unable to free all the slaves and save them, hence why he wrote the apology explaining his disdain. But I bring all this up to tell you that Luffy has a connection in all this in some way, whether Luffy is Joy Boy's reincarnation or the promised one who would free all the slaves. But one thing we do know is that just how much quote-unquote the description fits with Joy Boy. You can also definitely make the same argument regarding Luffy being the Sun God. But yeah, man, definitely let me know in the comments what you thought of this chapter. Personally, I really enjoyed it. It was fulfilling in every way. It had fights, it had new information that was dropped, it showed us like the numbers of on both sides. So it was yet again another chapter that was filled with information, right? And also there was a fight in this chapter. Like there was actually a fight. Like we got the conclusion of Jinbei versus who's who. But yeah, man, definitely subscribe to the channel if you made it this far and leave a comment on what your thoughts of this chapter are. That being said, until next time.